Welcome to the virtual bus tour of the Riverina, the Society of Precision Agriculture Australia and Riverina Local Land Services, through funding provided by the Australian Government's National Land Care Program, are developing a series of videos focusing on farmers and their precision ag activities.
We're on about 1,000 hectares, probably 90% of it irrigated on really heavy grey clay soil. We basically grow whatever suits us at the time, whatever we think we can make the most money out of, rotation-wise and dollars per hectare, dollars per meg. I actually used to sit in the cab of the old header with a piece of paper and look at the crop as I was stripping it, and I'd draw a map of the paddock, and then I'd put a tick where the crop was good and a cross where it was bad. So the next season I'd get that map out and I'd take the spreader and I'd do a blanket raid over the whole paddock. Then I'd come back and I'd do another half raid over the section of the paddock that hadn't performed. And that was really the catalyst for going on with it, because the results we got from that initial dosing up of the poorer areas resulted in a quite significant yield improvement, and one that was visible from the cabin of the header. It wasn't something that needed to be picked up with a yield monitor or something we could actually see. Dad actually says he reckons that variable rate and imaging is the biggest step forward he's seen in his career in 40 years of farming, which is quite an incredible thing for an older bloke to say. He actually really pushed us down this line more so than me. I was paying attention to it, but he could see the benefits of it, and he saw this as a quick and easy way of doing it, so he actually had a fair bit of foresight, and certainly wasn't a roadblock. You need to be able to have the gear to go and address the issues you've got in the paddock, and it's paid real dividends. And we're finding we're not actually using any more fertiliser, we're using the same amount of fertiliser for the paddock, and originally we would put a blanket rate out and we'd use 10 tonne for the paddock. We're still using 10 tonne for the paddock, dosing up the poorer areas and going easier on the better areas where you would find the over-fertilising does as much damage, I reckon, as under-fertilising, it lodging and too much vegetative growth. So from that viewpoint, using aerial imaging and understanding where we've moved the dirt to and from, and then using a management zones derived from the yield map, gave us a really clear picture of what needed to be done and where. Our weaker areas have improved in yield. In some cases, and I can only go off the header monitor, that's all I can go off, but we have seen year on year, we've seen anything up to a doubling of yield, especially in rice, summer crops, between the season before where we didn't variable rate and the season after. Precision ag has made a big difference to our profitability and just the way we do things. Even down to the operators in tractors who have GPS steering, not being so tired at the end of the day and being able to concentrate more on what's happening with the machine behind the tractor as opposed to where they're going. So there's a lot of little steps and a lot of little incremental gains, the 1%ers, and you're trying to get the 1%ers right all the time. There's probably, you get 90% of it right and there's 10 1%ers and you've got to try and get them all to line up. Precision ag, from our viewpoint, the catalyst was finding cut areas in the paddock which weren't performing and dosing them up so that they would perform. It's about as simple as that. It's purely trying to improve our average yields, and it has done so by between a tonne and a tonne and a half a hectare. From there we've sort of pieced things together. We haven't spent a lot of money on brand new gear. We do a lot of getting of second-hand bits and pieces off the net when we can find them. Particularly having SPAR involved, or as an advocate as such, they do a fantastic job of just providing advocacy and information, a good spot to go and find a network of people that are using precision ag and understand how discussing that with 2 or 3 or 4 different growers can result in you understanding much clearer what you want to achieve in your business through precision ag. I've spoken to a lot of Fitzy out on the drive, speak to him about bits and pieces and understand what other blokes do in their businesses and how I can use what they're doing or interpret what they're doing and use it in a different production system that I'm involved in. So having those networks and just having that information out around the place is very important. It's a good place to go when you're starting.
Precision Ag is bringing technology and innovation to the farmer and guiding you to farming success. To find out more about Precision Ag and its economic and environmental benefits, visit spar.com.au.